Awesome, great, glorious day it is. This is the day the Lord has made, and indeed we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Umubanga podcast, where we aim to inform, transform, as well as inspire. Our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is a gospel artist, songwriter, and pastor whose music carries a deep message of hope, worship, and revival. Known for his passionate worship sound and unshakable commitment to the gospel, he has become one of Liberia's influential gospel voices, ministering both at home and across borders. His music blends African rhythm with a heartfelt worship sound that continues to inspire believers worldwide. Our guest recently ministered in Zambia during the Worship Resound second edition, alongside Deborah Mambo and the Encounter and the powerful ministers of the gospel. Today, he joins us to share his story of faith, family, and music. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Liberia, live and direct in Lusaka, Pastor Joseph T. Nimely. Sir, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Welcome to Zambia. How has been your stay?
It's been really, really good.
Yeah, it's been a week, eh?
Yeah, it's been a week and a day. So today is complete a week and a day today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what's been so fascinating? Like, what's been something new you've experienced just being around Zambia?
I don't want to say anything look new, because like I said, Zambia is more like Liberia. The reception, the people, the interaction, but some of the things that look contrary, the food. I had to really struggle to manage to eat what yoshima, something like that, and I struggle. But at the end of the day, I had some better taste, and then your traffic, because your roads are positioned in a way where your opposite lanes are our direct lanes. So I'm confused when I'm in the car and I see the drivers on the lane. I'm like, "Hey guys, we're gonna have an accident," because that's my right lane in Liberia and that's your left lane in Zambia. But other than that, it's been good.
Okay, awesome.
It's been good.
So look, you're pretty much new in the Zambian scene, and I think the interaction which most people had was this past weekend when you ministered at Worship Resound 2025. But before we dive into that, walk us through your background, upbringing in Liberia. Like, where does Pastor Joseph Nimely help from?
So I'm Joseph Nimely. I'm Joseph T. Nimely. So the T in my name represents Tue, and the Tue is my native name, and it means thank you, but in some other translation, it means action, like the axe used to cut woods and sticks. And so I hail from Grand Crew County, and that's the Kwa speaking group in Liberia. So I am the last of 15 children. I love to say more than 15 because there are some I don't know. It sounds interesting, right? Yeah, so but I'm the last of 15 children, and I am a graduate. I hold a bachelor of degree in theology.
Okay.
And I'm a candidate of masters, and I study emphasis theological education. Mm-hmm. And I'm a pastor, and I'm a friend. I'm a husband. I'm married to Mrs. Pastor Sarah T. Nimely, and we are blessed with 4 kids. And I just had my last baby girl, June 30th. So the amazing thing is, my first son is born in June 29th, and my last child is born June 30th. My second my second girl is born October 25th, and then the third one is born October 23rd. So I just put them in categories like that. So 2 boys, 2 girls, in the same month. But in Liberia, we are there. We are trying to raise people. We've got mentorship programs, both social media and physically. So we are engaged in the preaching, revivals, conference, and I'm also a deliverance minister. Okay. Apart from music, that's what I do, because the person I serve under my pastor at the City of Light Church of God, Bannersville Estate, Bishop John Konkon, he's into deliverance and teaching ministry. So that has also been my my focus. And yeah, pretty close. That's just that. If there's any other thing, we'll talk about it.
Awesome. So you being the last of 15 children, like how did you find Jesus, or how did Jesus Christ find you?
Yes, so it is quite interesting because my entire family were Christians. My late dad was a deacon, and my mother was also a deacon. My dad was a musician. So in our time, our county, he was referred to as the most celebrated musician, but he was a kind of additional musician who sings traditional songs. So I grew up, with the sense of God, but then we were not into it fully like that. So when I moved, because we live in the interior part, so when I moved to the capital, to Monrovia, then my grandmother then was also a deaconess in the Assemblies of God. So we grew up in the Assemblies of God. But I remember around the age 14, 15, 16, I went at a revival, and normally as young people passing, you see people doing the street program, and this white guy was preaching, and he was giving a very scary example. So he was saying two guys came to a crusade like this, where he was calling auto call, and normally people would be afraid to go up, everybody ashamed. So we had a bike, and then he said two guys came for this crusade, and then one came up for the auto call, and the other they didn't show up, and while they were going home, and they were crossing the road. The other guy that didn't come up, car killed him. That's how he didn't enter heaven. I said, maybe car can kill me tonight. So let me just go and give my life to Christ. And that was just how I went up, and it was just out of ignorance. And I went up, and then we accepted Jesus at that moment. So it was around the age 14, 15.
Okay. So from that time, you giving your life to Jesus Christ, like, did that now spark the call, you realizing to say, hey, I can sing? Oh, now you were so much involved with the youth ministry, or it was as well like a path of self-discovery, you being as well in school and all those things?
So at that age, I should tell you, at that age, there was not pretty good sense that that I had a focus about God. And in fact, I can say that whatever experience I had at the crusade, I felt like it was just casually done, because fear happened at that moment, and I just decided to just walk into it so that I don't die when I'm leaving here. I don't want a car to kill me when I'm leaving. So, but then I know that coming up at that age, I was playing. There's a drum. I don't know if you have that yet, that you sit, that they put between the legs and
the drum.
So I played that a lot. I spent pretty good a long time playing that in church. So growing up, that was what I was doing. I played that a lot. And I would sometimes even play for my school cultural team. We had a cultural team that would go and perform. So I would also play for my school cultural team. But from that time, growing up to high school, I can tell you I had some mixed attitudes that were just mixing up, and they were crazy. They were really crazy, But I don't want to say that there was a particular focus about God at that moment, though I had it as a burden, because my parents, my grandmother was so much hard that Sunday in your house, no, you weren't permitted to watch. We weren't permitted to eat until after service, and that's what I grew up doing. I don't eat on Sunday until I'm done with all of my activities. So if you didn't watch your uniform for school on Monday, or they didn't press, forget it. You're going to wear it dirty on Monday, because you are not allowed to do anything on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we grew up with that discipline and that fear, and I really appreciate it now. It was really we saw it like it was being a punishment, but now I see the importance.
Yeah, and speaking on that, you being grounded in the household, like, who were some of the people who shaped who you are? Like, in terms of mentoring you and just guiding you in, we'll start with, say, home, and then now going into ministry, the church. Like, who are some of the people who...
So, from my family side, I don't want to say I had any motivation, but I remember that my grandmother took me to church most times. But then because we're Assemblies of God, I don't know if you have, I think you have it here.
Yes, we have Assemblies of God.
So when we go to Assemblies of God, I noticed that they would stay too long in church, because it was almost like a additional traditional church. So we go to church 10 o'clock in the morning, and we are coming back 4:30 p.m. And I'd be like, I think someone might died one day in this service, because it's really, really kind of... But then I saw God in my grandmother, and the amazing thing that I can never forget, she never went to school. She was not educated, so she didn't know how to speak English well. But if my grandmother is in devotion and the power of God falls on her, she will speak English very fluently. like somebody who's been in the classroom. So that alone, I was convinced. I remember one day, I was so sick, and I think I was almost giving up because they have tried all of the hospitals and everything, and nothing couldn't work. And I remember lying down. I was under the plum tree with my grandmother, and everybody were thinking like they were waiting for the moment that I just give up the ghost so that they can just do the needful. I remember my grandmother praying for me, and she prayed. I didn't know where the strength came from. At that moment, I got up, and I just saw myself walking. I've had 2 encounters with her. There was a time I saw Legme for the first time. I liked it for the first time. They came, and I saw the fire, like the pillow over my grandmother's head, and all of us ran to her in fear. And I saw that thing leaving and hitting the tree, and the tree died instantly. And then all of those things, when I saw them, I still remember then that at that time, sometimes when God has his hand on you, you might not be in the place of seeing or realizing it, but he won't show up in your innocence, but he perform what he wants to do because he's concerned about your upbringing. And I realized that great. So my influence was not basically about family, but I've had personal encounters. I've grew up listening to people. I didn't care about church, about preaching, about being a pastor. No, that was never something. Even if you ask me now, if God come now with, I'll tell him that I don't want to be a pastor. But so it was not something that I desired to be. So I just used to love music and just admire music. So I grew up listening to a lot of musicians. So in Liberia and out of Liberia.
Yeah. So who were some of the influences?
So from the US, the 2 persons that I grew up listening to my whole life were Fred Hammond. Fred Hammond was one, and then Marvin Sapp was another person. And then in Liberia, there's this old artist we called Cyrus Thompson. He's an old artist in Liberia. I listened to him a lot, and there were other additional artists that were there. They weren't singing the kind of music we're doing now. They were doing, some of them were reggae and African kind of praise, but at that time they were the only people that were being celebrated. So we were trying to like follow them.
Awesome. Now, walk us through your music journey, having had an opportunity to just dive deep into what you do. Actually, before we dive into the music, your journey deciding to now go full-time studying theology, how did that come about?
Yeah, so I left my high school around 29, and then I had an ambition to become two things in life. And number one, I really, really wanted to become a professional journalist because I can tell you I can have the whole time talking, and I won't get tired. So. And I started venturing into child broadcasting because there was a program in Liberia called Child Broadcasting where they will have the teenagers that were trained to give news and do interviews. So we started going to that. And then when I left from junior high to senior high, I started having the ambition because I was really pretty good in biology. So I started like, I think I can become a medical doctor. At least that would have been a profession. So when I left from high school, I had a scholarship to go to a school that was teaching nursing, and it was so interesting. I went to that school. I was doing pretty well. I was on scholarship. I was on music scholarship. I wasn't paying a dime. And I remember one day we took organic chemistry test, and then the teacher just sent me 69. Failed, and I knew that I passed the test. So I challenged the test results. We went to the president that was then my pastor. He's a doctor, my pastor. And then when we challenged the test, they called the teacher and he said, I'm not going to give the test to the man again. He failed. And my pastor said to me, my man, it's just one test. It's just one course. So what you do, just leave it. You can do it, because I was pretty close, like almost to my sophomore to go to junior year. He said, just leave it. You can do it. And you won't just imagine. Scholarship student, having the passion. I just got angry. I said, I'm not going to the school again. And I dropped off. So I didn't continue. And I was at a place where I was practicing to give injection. I could tell the insulin and everything. I was discussing the different part of the body too. So I just dropped out of that thing. And everybody felt like I wasn't serious, and it was actually a burden. It really, every time I remember the story, it looked so terrible. And then I left from that school. I had an opportunity again for scholarship to go to another school called Stella Maris. It's a polytechnic that's been run by the Catholics. And I had a scholarship to go there, on music scholarship to go to the school. And I enrolled at the school.
So you were getting music scholarship?
Yes, I was getting that. Okay. And then when I went to the campus, and I just came home, I called the guy, I said, I can go to the school and say, well, I said the campus is not too big. So it would just be crazy reasons why I would just turn down universities. And I remember I had another scholarship to AME Zion. I took the entrance, and normally Liberia, when you taking a college entrance, sometimes you have to maneuver your ways for your names to come through. But I realized that I passed, and I got the newspaper, I saw my name. I was getting ready in the morning to go for my admissions, and while I was dressing, my phone was on my lap, it dropped, and the phone cracked. When the phone cracked, I got angry. I said, I'm not going to the school again. So everybody else concluded that I wasn't serious, but I knew that from high school, I was a very smart guy, and I had a lot of honorariums in high school, and I'm wondering what's happening to me. And sometimes it looks like it's some kind of demonic attack or something want to suppress you. And so I remember one day I was going to the studio. There's an area in Morocco called GSA Road. That's where we have the government service agency where they live. So we call it GSA Road. And then I was walking with my friends, and I saw this lady. She was sitting with her friend. She called me, and she said, "Fine boy." That's how we call people in Liberia. They say, "Fine boy," it means they're referring to you. So we're four. So everybody looked behind. Then she said, "No, you." And I be like, "Guy, I only have $5 in my pocket. So if that lady is calling me to beg, if I give her the $5, all of you will have to give me transportation to go back." And I went to her, and she said to me, I'm not calling you for any, I don't know you from anywhere. You're a musician." And I said, no, I'm not a musician. She said, "I know you're a musician. And what you're working on," the Lord said to me, I've not met this lady. Yeah. The Lord said to me that you've tried to go to many universities and colleges, but the Lord said that's not where He's calling you. So until you can answer to what He wants you to do, whatever you're going to do, He won't give you passion to do it. So I'm like, I'm confused about what you're saying. And she's saying a lot of things to me. He's going to use you as a pastor. He will take you to nations to preach and blah, 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 blah. So I left. I called my bishop in South Africa. He said, "But let's pray about it." And he came back on Friday. It happened on Wednesday. Friday, we're in service. And this pastor came from Ghana. He was preaching. And then the sound was like, because in my church, I work like everything. Sound engineer, I'm a pianist there and everything. So the sound was like tripping. So I was running back to the music booth to help. Then the man said, "Yeah, you stop there." I stopped. So fear came to me. Young guy who knew the kind of life we are involved with. And I said, "The guy shouldn't bring some kind of disgrace to me here at the church." And then he said, and he asked my pastor, "Who is the guy?" He said, "My son." He said, "I see a pastoral anointing over this guy. And he wants to become a doctor." But until this exact thing the woman said, until he answered to the court of God, whatever he wants to do. So he told the church, from today, no one calls him by his name. And it will be funny to you that before I received ordination, I was already called pastor in my church. That very moment he announced it, everybody started calling me pastor in the church. So that was when I concluded. I said, okay, I can try this. And I told God, I said, I prayed never to be a pastor because I see how pastors can struggle. I know how pastors struggle, especially from the Assemblies of God area. When you pastor have a car, they think that you eating the church money. So funny enough, I told my mom that I'm going to the seminary to learn theology. My mom looked at me for long and she said, so the question she asked me, when will you graduate? Before you build a church, before the church grow, she made it grow very long. And before you start having offering, before you take care of me. So imagine my mom is a seasoned deaconess in church, but she's afraid that her son will be a pastor because I tell you, I don't know how it's in Zambia, but pastors in Liberia, there are few. Once you build in a house, you have in a car, they start having a different perspectives about you. Yeah. So I entered the university and I told God, if I go to the school, one thing, give me passion. May I never experience any breakdown in tuitions. And in my third year, I remember we're writing I think it was church history test or something we're doing. Yep. And then they brought the roll call, the dean called my name for school fees. I didn't even beg, I didn't hesitate, but then he called my name, I pulled the sheet and I walked out. All my friends went, man, I said, because I know what I told God. I told him, I said, the day they put me out for school fees, I'm out. You need me to do this. I'm not looking for you to be pastor. And I went and sat on the Palava hall. I was normal. Everybody was like, even the president came to me and said, man, because I used to lead chapel with them, you can't go and beg. I said, nah. And I saw that miracle that day. I was sitting on a Palava hall, somebody I didn't know who don't normally talk to me in church called me. And they were like, how are you today? I said, I'm fine. And is there anything that you want to talk? I said, no, nothing, I'm good. Because they work at MTN as HR. They called a second time, they said, but how's the school? I said, school is fine. So how's the tuition? I said, everything's good. He said, but are you sure that you don't need me to help with anything? So reluctant, I just said, I just had a issue now. I'm out for school fees. He said, how much is it? I said, 360. US. He said, okay, but do they have EcoBank account? I said, I think I want to ask them. He said, let him send the EcoBank account number to me. So I forwarded to him. So in a few minutes, the dean called me and said, somebody just paid $370. He added $10 even for transportation for them to go and confirm the money. Then I told God, I said, no, I now believe now that you want me to venture into this. And that was how I just started to move on and believing that God was the one who was initiating everything.
Interesting journey.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So now enlighten me on your prayer journey, like you as a pastor, and the fact that with your ministration, getting to see it, which we'll talk about your music, but if somebody goes to your YouTube, you're pretty much, it's mostly a call to prayer, call to revival.
Yeah. So like I said to you, there are things that influence people, but I can say on this podcast, my wife has been my very strong supporter. I tell you, my wife prays more than I do. There are nights that I'm sleeping and she's up 2 hours and praying for me only. So she's been one of my inspirations. But then looking at my family background, out of 15 children, I can because from my older sister, we are only from my father's side. So my mother's children were about 7, and put together, I'm the first who ever got married. And I'm telling you, I'm the last. And last, there are other people who are way older, 40s.
Yeah.
And growing up, all of my brothers and sisters, before getting married, I've already had 1, 2, 3 children. So I'm the only person who never walked into that circle.
Yep.
So there are many things that happen that influence my prayer life. So I look at my background, I look at my foundation, I see that there are things that my father couldn't achieve. My father didn't go to school, though he worked in government, and that was the old time where, once you were influential in your town, the president can just give you a job. So growing up, I saw that my foundation would have been a major hindrance to my life if I don't engage in the prayer. So I've made prayer my lifestyle. And then when I entered into deliverance ministry, it made it more, because you have to talk to people with different issues. You have to talk to people with demonic problems, and they are coming to you with so many kind of issues that sometimes you just take faith to handle that. So you have to pray more to do it. And then that prayer started to influence my musical journey as well. So yeah, but prayer is just part of my life. I don't pray at a particular time, like what people say, they get up at 2 to pray and then get up at 12 and pray. I don't. Anytime I'm available, I pray. Even when I'm on a car, I'm praying. I'm on the plane, I'm praying, because I pray at season. I don't have to be blasting and holding the words and speaking in tongues. But if I pray in my heart, he said he understands and he sees. He said he that is seeing in the secret can understand what you pray. So I don't pray based on the timings of church and everything. Yeah.
Now, going into your music, walk us through your journey. At what point did you now start doing music professionally?
So when I started to play the drums, like what we call it the samba drums in Liberia, and I started having ambition to learn other instruments. And it would be very funny that nobody taught me any instruments in church. The piano, the jazz drum, I learned everything by myself. So I started to do these things, and then I started to play for churches. Like I make of fun in Liberia that there's no church in Liberia I have not played in. I mean denomination. The only church I have not played in is the church I just come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because Latter Day Saint just came, but I've entered the Kingdom Hall. I went to the different kind of churches. Even it was a white garment church, I went there. Because I just used to be the place where I would just here and there playing. And we play sometimes for contracts. We play and they will be paying you sometimes 1,000 Liberty, and our money will be like $5 US. It will be your salary they will give you for a whole month. So now $750 is less than $4 US will be a salary you get for a whole month. And I'm a student, I'm a young guy, I'm living on my own. And I have other young guys that were coming, trooping into to where I live, who have to pay rents. It was challenging. I remember I was in this church, and I would go to church every day and play piano, and I would lead worship in the church. But I was going to church with my shoes, with high heels. So the shoes I had never had heels on it. Okay. So because of that, one of the shoe had heels and one they didn't have. So you notice that you have to be walking like you are lame. So when I'm on the stage singing, I will be like one side is up, one is down. So everybody in the church used to refer to me as Michael Jackson. But I thought because of the way I used to sing. So I didn't know that because of the way I was positioned when I'm singing. So they thought that I was Michael Jackson. And it was really tough. But I kept pursuing that. I kept just doing it, practicing, and it was really challenging. There were times that I didn't have clothes to wear. I have to wear normal t-shirts, white t-shirts that you put on your dress to go to church. People have to borrow me suits, which I can send you some of the photos to see. I was really, really not looking good. That anybody could think that anything good would have come out of. So I just spent my whole time playing keyboards and training people, teaching choirs. 2012, I realized that there was a gift that, people, you can sing. People would tell me that you have this ministry of singing. Why can't you venture into it? So we had this competition in Liberia. It's called Sing on the God. Competition. It's a gospel competition. And then I went to the competition. And my first time in the room with the contestants, man, we were 15 contestants. And all these guys were discussing about music. Fear entered me. I said, because I was just like dominant among all of them. So my friends were like, my man, we trust you can do it. So I started pushing. We went to that competition, and I saw the way I came out. And then one of the moments that really told me that I was good at that level, we had this director in Liberia, had a mass choir called Revelation Mass Choir. I was in a mass choir. I don't know why this guy didn't believe in me or he didn't like me. I don't know. But imagine 60th person in a group, and when the tenors are singing, when the song spoiled, the guy would just stop the whole song. He said, you, Joseph, you spoiled the song. So I'd be like, okay. So when they start singing, I will stop. So that I don't be blamed. Even when I stop singing, he will still say that I spoiled the song. So he never believed in me at all. And until we were going for serenades, they would give me the drums, tie it on my neck. I'm not beating it. I'm just the one holding it, and somebody will be beating it while it's on my neck. And they will tell me, you're not permitted to add your voice to the song we are going to do. So I had to be quiet on going out. I remember that day I was singing at Winners Chapel at a competition, and I saw him walking from the aisle, coming to the altar, and he was crying bitterly. He wept, and he cried. So after the competition, he said, man, I didn't even believe that you will be this good. By him saying that to me, it told me that I think for true that I can just pursue this thing and I can become better, because this guy who never saw anything good in me. And that was how I just swayed into that. But from 2012 to 2017, I stopped singing. I just went back into my church teaching choir, because that's what I really used to love to do. Teach, help people. 2017 was when I became active singing.
What was your first song which you put out?
So 2017, the first song I produced was called More Than Enough. It was kind of like Afro song, and then I did More Than Enough. Then I did Lord I Love You. I did other songs. I think 3 songs at that time, 2017. And then 2017 was when I did my first major event. It was when I hosted Chris Morgan. So artist from Nigeria who did Jesus, I pour my love on you. So I hosted him. 2017 was my first major event ever that I ever had. And that was when I hosted Chris Morgan. So 2017, 2018, when I got married now, I was when I started to explore my musical journey, because I saw that there were a lot of people who were believing. And I saw a gap into the industry in Liberia, that there were certain kind of music and certain things that were lacking in Liberia that people like us needed to have provide. And that was how I just got up with the help of God. But I should also be grateful to my church and my Bishop John Kunkun, our City of Light Church. They play a very major role, because when no other church believed in me, they were the people who would give me platform, who allowed me to sing on their stage, on their events, and it brought so much confidence. And today we can be where we are.
Yeah, awesome. Now you started off as an Afro soul, like singing pretty much Afro beats. Now, at what point do you then transition into more vertical worship, more prayer charged type?
2017. So 2017, I had a different view, and I got really inspired by Joe Mento. I think that was his first major album when he did Wonderful Merciful Savior. And then I followed that entire album. So people will tell you that a lot of people that can listen to him will say, oh, he almost sounds like Joe Mento, because at that moment I listened to him a lot. So I saw that there was a kind of worship style that he has. And I said, well, if this guy can do this thing, I think it can be a style that we can integrate into Liberia's music. So what I started to do in Liberia was I was going for these old songs. So if you go to some of my concerts videos, you won't hear me singing songs. So most of the old songs, like I don't know if you sing them here, but we do them a lot in Liberia. There are songs I would say like Jesus is real to me. Hallelujah, oh yes, he gave me victory, we'll do that. Good morning, Jesus. So I would just take these old songs and try to put them into the mood of worship, go for some of the old hymn songs that people left behind and started to build it. So then, when I was doing this thing, then I got in touch with Sonny Badu with his first, I think his second concert where he did those hymns, Melody. My hope is built on nothing less. So again, it was just a confirmation that this is what God wants me to do. And then I started to just use those things as a reference to what I was doing. And that was how but I can tell you, I didn't know how this happened, but it just happened.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll dive deep as well. You mentioned 2018 you got married. Walk us through your journey meeting your wife.
So meeting my wife, it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And because coming up as a young man, a young music minister, I tell you, it's so interesting that there are a lot of people that if you tell them that, hey, I want to have a relationship, they'll be interested. And so I was in the place where, sometimes it sounds funny that though, but I told myself, I'm young, I don't want to get married because there's a push or there's an urgency. So I want to get married to the person because I like to see beautiful people. So if I want to get married, I want to get married to a beautiful lady that I don't want to leave her and be looking for another option.
Yeah.
So I remember one day I went to one of my friend's house, but he's late now. Peace be to his ashes, late Barnabas Carrer, was at his house. And then my wife then, and he was really close. They were in the same university. So I didn't know she was in his house. So while I was sitting, then she walked out of the house, like she kept going out to the dustbin to throw there. And I saw her, I said, man, who's the girl? He said, that's my friend. He was a funny guy, very funny. He said, man, you want her, I can make it happen. But I didn't tell him that was my interview. I know how crazy he was. He vokes a lot. So if I'm going to tell him, I'm going to be like on the media. So my wife was also a member of the team that I was also a part of. Okay. I think you might have heard of Pastor Clatote. He came to Pearl before. So he had a team called CRM, and my wife was his personal secretary. Then I joined CRM, and I became one of the lead vocalists. I became one of the leaders and the directors on the team. So then the friendship that we had from my friend's house now, we started to build it from the team. Yeah. So we built that friendship. When I told my wife I want a relationship, she said she didn't want a relationship because God is telling her that we should be brother and sister. So we should pray. So we were not having a conversation. Every time I call her, she said, I want you to know that you're my brother. She was saying, yeah, but everybody that ever met people in his life, it starts from brother and sister. Yeah. Yeah, we've never been boyfriend and girlfriend from our VNC from start. So she said, but I don't feel anything like that, but we can pray about it. I tell you, 3 years, we prayed. Just praying. We won't talk. We won't have conversation. 3 years of praying.
But you're still a part of the same group.
We'll see. We're part of the group. That's what we'll see. We'll just see shortly, hey, hi, how you doing? And we just go.
You're still praying.
Yeah, we're still praying 3 years. So, in 2016, I remember it was from 2014, 2015, 2016, at the end of 2016, it was one day that she also just reached out to me through message. And then she asked me, have you prayed enough? I said, yes. And then she said, because I just feel like through the 3 years, myself, I've been praying, and God has been telling me that the two of us, we can work things together. And we're like, oh wow, it looks like the prayer really works.
Did you get the answer?
Yes. I said,
no, question is, did you get the answer before? You heard it from her?
For me, I didn't get an answer from her before. It was at that moment she told me, but me, I knew that it was a yes, because from the day I set my eyes on her, my heart and my mind told me that this is your wife. So that 3 years of waiting and whatever she was doing, it was just for her to say, let's pray. We're praying, but I knew that one day it was going to happen.
Actually, in that vein, I think right now we're in a stage and time where, like, most people don't have the patience to wait for 3 years and pray.
Yeah, and so I know.
How did you hold on to that and just stay away from everybody else who was interested in you?
Bro, I held on because this is the thing. What I did was I just made her a part of my life. So though she said we should be brothers and sisters, I would call her, we talk brother and sister thing. So when I call her, we just talk music. We just talk about her family. Oh yeah, we'll never have conversation that were intimate. Even if you try to ask her this, we we just keep our conversation friendly. She'll remind you, let's keep it Christian, let's keep it friendly. But I told my guys around me, and all of them knew me for that I've already met this woman, and until we get married, I'm not going to have anybody in the relationship. They will be laughing. So they'll be like, you sure? So it will interest you. My wedding date, June 24th, 2018. The name my wife called me was Persistence. But you know, when they say in the vow, they will say, call your spouse's name. So she was calling me, or Joseph T. Persistent. She added Persistent to my name because she knew that I was quite a persistent guy. Even her mother knew that. Her mother, everybody, because I would go and visit her to her house. So now I go visit my wife to the house. Her mother would tell her, literally, go and sit with the boy outside. I didn't have time. Sometimes I go there, she's basically inside. I'm talking to her sisters. We'll lecture. I got close to her little sister. We're friends and we'll talk. But I just kept it as that. But then it was divinely orchestrated. It was divinely arranged. Because even when we got together, we started talking in 2017. And by the time we got close in 2016, I told her we are getting married. 2017. So they thought it was a joke. 2017, we couldn't because I had that event. It was massive. And then I literally like went broke after the event. So we postponed the wedding to 2018. But then one of the things that really got she and myself attentive was when there was a prophet from Sierra Leone. He's called Prophet Emmanuel Cabo. And we've never met that man before. It was his first time in Liberia. First time in Liberia. The day they had a crusade on the field, I was preaching my church crusade. I was sick and I was on drip. So I came on the field because there's a restaurant by the field. I came to eat to take my medicine. And this man was preaching and he said, I'm hearing the name Joseph. And in my church at that time, we have more than 4 Josephs. And we have Joseph on the pulpit. Then everybody went up. Then he said, no, the Joseph I'm seeing. So he spelled my last name because, they will give them time to call my name. My bishop, he's my father. He said, oh, that's my son. So I was early on the field. He was trying to call me, so I ran there. Then he said, young man, I'm seeing you with a girl or lady, and I'm seeing her with a strappy up blue and yellow and T-shirt. I wanted to talk because that's how my wife worked with MTN. That's how they dress with that yellow. And so he said, I've seen that. Is it Lone Star Cell MTN? So everybody that knew my wife at that time, like, were friends. They started into the crowd. Whoa, they were yelling. And he said, I'm seeing the name Sarah Tamba. And I said, and my father then shouted, oh yeah, that's his wife to be. So he said to me, that lady hosts the fast to the nations for you. If you get married to her, God will open the doors of the nations to you through her. Because she will be your pearl. Because I see your documents, your visas, everything is with her. And he said another thing to me that because of her, God is going to make you the pathfinder of Liberia gospel music. That you will be the one to create and open the room to Liberia gospel music. It's a lot of things. So that alone became a serious confirmation. And then we just moved on. And that was how we just had our smooth and very simple wedding. And it was accorded. And after that, we still enjoy our time. So this going June 24th this year made us 7 years together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Still on that, accountability, like who were some of the people you were accountable to make sure that your relationship was properly and firmly grounded?
I can give serious credit to my mother-in-law, my wife's mother. I've never seen any mother-in-law like that before in my life. I can say that anywhere I stand. And I can say to her every time that I owe her a lot. She's a very wonderful woman of God. She's a reverend, but she has a heart of gold. Because even from the start of our relationship, she's been one of the person who has been talking to her daughter. Seeing a young guy with nothing, and I think you know what I'm talking about when the family is at that level. But she saw prospects, and she will always tell her daughter, "Don't look for this, don't look for that." And I'm seeing this guy, like, he has a heart and he loves God. And funny thing, when we got married, our mother-in-law lived. She used to live on our airport road, and I was living by like 3 hours drive. And she would prepare food, put in the small buckets, and drive it to my house. And we eat it for weeks. We just be in the bus. So she's been pretty a wonderful person. That she's been my go-to position. And she's not somebody who talk and support her daughter when she's wrong. Even when that's wrong, she told her daughter that this thing you're doing, you're wrong. And also my father, Bishop Kaumbe, he's been one person who also played a really, really major role. He stood by me. He stood by my wife. He stood as a father to go and see her parents. He motivated me. He told me. I remember I was afraid to get married because I got married. I was 27 years. So I was pretty afraid. He told me, man, when I was getting married, I didn't have anything. I got married with a ring. He was telling me a story. I got married with a ring. So marriage is not about you having housing. So he had one comedy would tell me, he said, if you get married, your clothes won't change. The same clothes you have when you're single, that's why you're moving your married home with. There's no way in marriage they tell you, no, you're not entering the house with the clothes you have when you are single. Don't bring it here. He said the same food you ate before when you're single, you will still eat it when you're married. Yeah. So there's nothing going to change. What changes is your status that you've decided to be committed to one woman. So forget about house, forget about having luxury. Get married because he said he who found a wife will obtain favor. So get married and wait for God to give you the favor for establishment. So you'll say to me, who knows? You can get married to your wife and God can open corridors. Now you're waiting to have job and have everything. He said, what if it's the marriage that God is waiting for to give you that job because he wants to see your commitment? Yeah. And those words have been pretty good. I'm seeing them now.
Awesome.
I'm seeing them now.
Awesome. Speaking on, you mentioned you have 4 children. Fatherhood, growing up in a family where you were 15, a big family, and all. How did you then go into fatherhood and how have you been able to navigate that? So
I can tell you, I don't know how it happened, but amongst all my mother's and my father's children, I think that's why my grandmother named me Joseph, because I'm loved by everybody. Everybody. I was my late father's favorite. I am still my mom's favorite. My mom still treats me.
Where's the coat of many colors?
Yes, my mom still treats me like I'm a child.
Yeah.
Up to today's day, when she calls, even if my mom hears that, and somebody was killed in this community, she will call me. I say, what? She said, I just want to make sure that you are alive because I heard this. So all of my siblings, that's how they treat me. They treat me with, I've been loved. And what I can tell you, they've been treating me with love and reverence. So when I started having kids, those same feelings that I've been having is just transmitted to me. And I can tell you, when I'm home, you won't know that I'm even a celebrity or pastor. I cooked at my house. Sometimes I cook all out of time. By the time I was going to sit, I cook. I prepared. I get up in the morning, prepare my children for school. I love to do it. I bath them every evening. I leave from job, I come home, I face the hot water, I will bath the four of them. Even the young baby who was 2 months, I bath her. I do that. I tell my wife go and rest. I don't leave her with the burden to say, okay, because you are the wife in the house. No, she knows that. I love to take care of my children. I love to be with them. So all of them, they are used to me. Even when I'm here now, they can be. My wife was telling me every time they hear the gate, they can run to the gate because normally when I come in, that's how I will hit the gate. So they will run there, daddy, because that's how I've made them. So I can tell you, you can't put my children in this room and you tell me to go out and stay with you. They will embarrass you. They will be forced to get out. Even when their mother is sitting here and I'm out, they will want to get out to be with me. Yeah. So I've just tried to balance that because I know that ministry will take a lot of time for me, but I've tried to make time for my children. Like Mondays in Liberia, I don't leave my house. Okay. You can be who that is going to call me for $1 million. I tell you, let's keep it for Tuesday. That's my family time. Yep. Saturdays, I spend half of my days with my children because Tuesday to Friday I go to work. Yep. So Mondays I don't go anywhere because I work at my church at the office. So Monday I have a time out with my family. Saturday from the morning to 4 I'm with my family because I had to do rehearsals at church at 5 p.m. So I spend a lot of time with them.
Awesome. Yeah. Now you in Zambia. Walk us through your journey interacting with Deborah Mambo and you finding yourself in Zambia.
Yeah, so I firstly want to say that Zambia is blessed to have Minister Deborah Mambo as their own, and like I always say, I will encourage them to support Deborah. There are a few of them that I will talk about later, but Deborah has a heart. She loves people. She's a humble woman of God. She loves to see things worked and happen. So I met Deborah last year. It has not been long. Yep. We got connected last year on the internet. She did a song that she shared in, I think, what's it, Ilangeni?
Yeah, Ilangeni with Pastor Leo.
Yeah, Pastor Leo. And I listened to that song. I just came across it on the internet and I was so blessed by it. And that was how I texted her. I said, woman of God, God bless you for this song. And she responded immediately. And we started talking, and then I told her, so I'm a music minister in Liberia, based in Liberia. And then so I shared, because set me on fire with her, and she was like, this is powerful. So we started talking. So and at that time, I was having my event, because my event is always April. So it's our National Fast and Prayer Day. So I was like, can you come to Liberia in April for my event? She said, yeah, I would like to. But the timing was really short. So I was just saying it out of jokes. So after that time, then she reached out to Pastor Clark, I'm talking about, because he's been here to that church several times with Bishop Mobile, to the other branch, I think it's in Kaumbe, Bishop Oscar
Mumba, yes.
Mobile. So he's been to Liberia, and then he met Pastor Clark there. So when she called Pastor Clark there to ask about me, so he said a lot to her, all that. Pastor Joseph is one of the leading gospel artists in Liberia. She called me. She said, but why are you being this simple? I said, well, I said, Pastor Clark told me a lot about you. So I just laughed. I said, that's just ministry. So we started talking from there. So this year, I didn't know she was planning even.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was planning her program. It was in June. I was at the studio, and then I was doing a recording of a song. I'm a pianist, and then I was going live. She saw it. She said, oh, this song is powerful. I said, yeah, it's a powerful song. I just wrote it right now. I said, but I would like to have you on it. She said, yeah, that would be a privilege to do. I said, so what we can do, I can do the setup here, then I can send to you. You do your focus and send it back. We'll do the master. He said, that will work. So then later, after 1 week, she called me. She said, but I'm doing an event in October. My concert is a live recording. So what if you come and then let's do the recording together? So I said, but then that would be an awesome one. She said, yeah, you can come, and then we can have all the administration time together. And because I love your ministry, so that's how we just had a chat, and everything started to play in right away. So then the song that we should have recorded, we couldn't. So I think when she went to practice, then she called me. She said, "There's a song I'm doing I did, but I can just see you in the song." And that was how she sent me that song that we did together. She said, "But I think we can do this song together." And so we started to work together. And her program was October, and we talked in June. And July, my tickets were already secured. So I had my tickets secured in July, August, September. I was just waiting for the flight date to come. And since then, we've been having good interactions. We've been talking. But she said a lot about Zambia, the media, the gospel music, the church. She said a lot.
Awesome. Now, that was an electric ministration. Saturday 4th at Worship Resound. Interestingly, this time around for the preparation for Worship Resound, I never attended any rehearsal. I wanted to be ministered to and just be surprised as well.
Okay.
Beautiful song which you did together with Deborah. It was amazing. You had other interactions with the other music ministers. How was that like?
Yes. So when I was in Liberia, then I told her I wanted to Set Me on Fire, because currently Set Me on Fire in Liberia is like my signature song. And the interesting thing is I have not recorded that song. It is not officially recorded. I did that song in 2024. It is not recorded, but it's been sung all over Liberia. All over Liberia. Anywhere you pass, that song is being sung. So I told her I want to just give a different feel, since you have a language function in Zambia. So she said, yeah. So I said, but you, Deborah, can sing it. And Deborah is not the kind of energy, the kind of energy we have. She don't have this. She said, the way I see you, you look so energetic. I don't want to look ugly behind you. So let me recommend somebody. So I said, well, she said, I will send you the list of the artists that are singing. You can look at them and choose. Anyone you find, I will talk to them. They will be on the song. So she sent me Minister Timwani.
Yes,
she sent me Timwani. She sent me Reverend Leo. She sent me Reverend Gift. She sent me this Blessington.
Yes.
And I think that was the few she sent to me. So I watched them. But then when I went to Ilangeli, I remember Reverend Leo. So I asked her, who was the pastor on Ilangeli? She said, oh, that's Reverend Leo. I said, that's the guy I want on the song. She said, why? I said, because I just found myself in him. He has a passion of worship. He has the energy, and he's just something amazing. So she said, okay. And so she talked to Pastor Leo, and the very day he himself called me. He called me, man of God. And Deborah told me, and he was so excited for the work. And I was like, wow, such a humble man of God. And we started talking, planning, working together from Liberia. So he and I have been talking a lot. Even more than Deborah when we got connected. We talk almost every day. Reverend Leo will call me every day. We will talk. So Yeah, but it was pretty good. That those connections were good. And when I came here, I met other not just musicians. I one thing I told her, the way the media and all of you, sorry, I try to call the name again.
Umubanga.
Umubanga. Yeah, the way that I see you and your entity to push Deborah, I should be very, very, very honest with you. It don't happen in Liberia like that. You won't find it easily. Because if I would just have you doing these things at a good money, I'll be paying.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to be spending around 1,000 US to allow you to bring your crew to come to interview, do press briefing. I have to pay good money into your account. That 1,000 will be around 19, 20,000 in your money.
Yeah.
That's how I'll be paying to you to just to do a 1 day bringing your crew out.
Yep.
But then I've seen that you guys have stood up and you be at an event, you are covering everything, you using your transportation means, your own self.
Yep.
And that was just another shift of concept for me that I've grabbed. So it's not just a minister that I met that were amazing, but I met amazing organizations of media practitioners, the radio stations and the TV stations. They have been kind of supportive. I don't want to know the arrangements behind the closet because I can tell you there is no arrangement that can make people to do what they are doing, because the work you guys did to make this program successful cannot be compared to any cent that was given to anybody. It can never be compared. It can never be matched. Yeah. So and these are some of the amazing things that I saw. They've been pretty good, amazing.
So, day after worship Resound, you pretty much, would say it's pretty much Zambia's biggest Pentecostal church. You getting the privilege to sing at the Blessing Center. Well, of course, worship Resound was at the Blessing Center, but now you're in Sunday service, a full auditorium, a celebration of one of Zambia's fathers in the faith. Like, how was that experience like?
So, before I came to Liberia, I received a letter from the church.
From Bread of Life.
From Bread of Life, with the bishop's signature that Deborah forwarded to me. That because she had reached out to me that the church asked her that I minister at the bishop's service for the 2 services and the dinner. And then she said, but I told them to do a letter to you. So she sent a letter to me. And when I came, I went to Blessing Center. It was another experience in the first service. It was another experience in the second service. The interesting thing was almost everybody in the church felt like I was a Zambian.
You even sang Adonai by Temwani.
Yes,
You're singing Bemba.
Yeah, I sang that song. And so it got even the bishop confused. So after service, when we want to see him in the office, so he'd be like, which prophet are you from? So the brother said, no, he's not from Zambia. He's a Liberian. So it was Bishop Blessington who tried to even correct him and say, I remember hearing him on the radio. Like he's from Liberia. And then when he was singing at the church, I heard him saying, I don't understand what it means. I said, yes. Then he said, but you sound like a Zambian. You look like a Zambian. I said, yeah, maybe I'll become a Zambian as a second country. But it was amazing being at the Blessing Center, because home, when Deborah introduced them to me, I followed them a lot. Because I followed their services. So it was almost like a fulfillment of my heart that I was with them to share in what the Lord has laid on our hearts and to meet interesting people. And we are hoping that we'll be back again.
True.
But not anytime soon. We are hoping we'll be back maybe anytime next year, far from August upward, because I have a lot of things to do in Liberia, and then the hours are too long for me. They are pretty much stressful. To fly for more than 12 hours is pretty much stressful.
I think that Sunday in the evening, you also had an opportunity to minister at the dinner.
I didn't go because I was pretty tired.
Okay.
Yeah, because when we got home on Saturday, it was late. And then when I got home on Saturday, my son wasn't well. So they called me that night. I had to stay up to 2 a.m. And then I had to get up 6 a.m. because I think the service over there starts at 7.
Yes.
And then they said we had to be around 6:45 to have breakfast or something. So I was up at 6. So I didn't sleep. I was tired. And then after the 2 services, when Deborah called me out, we're coming for you at 2, I said, no, I can't. I just want to rest. So I slept the whole of Sunday.
Okay. So your experience, like having had these interactions with the music ministers around, you sang with Reverend Leo. I liked the rendition. How does it go? How does it go? Iseningo mulilo.
Yeah, it's sitting go Mulilo, it's sitting go Wela.
Iseninga menshi.
I think it'd be more that, but I think I remember the cinema, something like that.
Yeah, like that was amazing. I can't wait to listen to the
Yeah.
final product. Now, yes, you did a song with Reverend Leo. Like, do you have like other Zambian artists who you'd like to collaborate with? Some who are not even part of the lineup for Worship Resound?
Yeah, so apart from Deborah and Reverend Leo, I love Timwane.
Yeah.
Love Timwane. And I think we can work on something together.
Yeah.
And we can do a whole full production of worship. And I want it to be a more traditional worship, like what she does.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Bimba things that you do, I like it. You know, I like people to be original to what they do. Because these are sound that never dies and it gives you originality. So I like to work with Timwane. And I listen to
Pastor Gift.
Pastor Gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another person that initially I also had in plan that we're going to do something.
Yeah.
But we had a conversation, but the timing, I had a lot of things since I came. It's been based at radio station, TV, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So Pastor Gift is another person. And what's his name? Sons of Ephraim.
Ephraim, son of Africa.
Ephraim, Sons of Africa. He's another amazing guy. But again, I don't just settle for people who are up there.
Mm-hmm.
There are other amazing people that I can listen to. Prosper from Deborah's team. He's an amazing young artist and young guy who has an amazing voice. I listen to Angel.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to a lot of them, Sarah, and these are people that I won't hesitate working with them.
Yep.
I won't hesitate working with them. They're not just tied to the people who are up.
Mm-hmm. So now, like, what are some of the things now you're looking forward to, even as you go back to Liberia? Like,
So right now, as I'm going back to Liberia now, we have I have many events lined up before me.
Mm-hmm.
We have an event in November. We expect guests from Uganda, one of my brothers, and it's going to be all night. Mm-hmm. We have another event. It's called Refresh. It's hosted at our national stadium.
Yep.
It's December, and we have a lot of things. And then I'll be going to Sierra Leone. By the time I leave from here, I'm going back to Liberia. I'm just going to rest for like 2 weeks in Liberia, and I'll be out again. I got a concert in Sierra Leone. I'll be in Sierra Leone from the 17th to 17th, 18th, 19th to the 20th. Mm-hmm. I'll be there for 4 days for another concert in a seminar in Sierra Leone. Then I'll be back in Liberia to get ready for other concerts and preparation. Then I'm also planning for my event next year, my concert, because we are planning to host Deborah next year. And I told her if there any other person that wants to come and experience Liberia, because the only challenge is going to be once the person can get their flights, they can leave the rest with me. Yeah, I can handle any other thing that concerns what they want to do. But I will appreciate even you coming to experience Liberia at a different level, because the media guys will be really grateful to listen to you. We can organize seminars for you to teach. So that's what we do in Liberia. You can call media practitioners in the room, and you can talk to them and share your experience. Because Liberia, once you bring people from outside, we would like to draw something from you. But it will be a good experience. If any of you here can visit Liberia, I'll be glad to see you guys there.
We'll make a plan. Let's see how 2026 comes up. So So in terms of vision now, like how do you see the African music landscape, and how best do we greatly collaborate and just push the work of the Lord through music forward?
So for pretty a long time, the African music has been weighted in one country. And it has been settled in Nigeria. So you have a lot of the people moving to Nigeria. But I have seen that the 10 days in Zambia has a very large population. They have everything. They have the media power. They have the capacity in buildings and church facilities that are very, very beautiful and colorful. And if Zambians can get to the place where they start to support one another, believe in the people that are up there, and not do the crep mentality. The crep mentality that is that once it's not me, it cannot be you.
Yep.
And I think I see a shift of the music. We've been seeing that a lot. That is leaving from Nigeria, from West Africa, and is shifting to the eastern and the southern part of Africa. So Africa has been there, but I think there has been. I don't want to use that word because it looks so much disturbing, but I think there has been pretty much of themselves of what they do.
Yep.
They have not been able to collaborate with a lot of people. You can be in South Africa, and there are people in Zambia, there are people in Malawi, in Botswana, in Zimbabwe. You have to collaborate with them so that East Africa and Southern Africa because you guys have everything here.
Yep.
You have everything here, but the belief system, and there's something that I told Prosper and Sir Joshua and Aaron yesterday that I want to say in the podcast because I know that Zambians will watch.
Yep.
And listen, you cannot honor strangers more than the people you have. That is a serious deception.
Yep.
It's a serious deception. And that's why I don't buy into those things. When you try to give me the courtesy, the honor, the respect that you don't give Deborah, you don't give Timwani, you don't give Erin Leo, it's a deception. If you try to buy me your house that you have never bought Deborah, it's a deception. You try to invest millions of dollars into media practitioner from America, from UK, and you cannot do it for
Umubanga.
Umubanga in Zambia. That's a serious deception. Because what will happen is when you invest into your own people, the investment stays here. And the color stays here because when there's a major awards, their names will be mentioned in those national awards. And then they are not going there with their flag. They are going there with Zambian's flag.
Yep.
And then when they win, they will say that Zambian win this thing. So, and I saw it at Deborah's event, look at Deborah's church service I attended.
Yeah.
Pack from the beginning to the start, outside. And look at Deborah's event and look at the kind of person Deborah is. But there are some things that are unspoken I can say that, but I observe them a lot, and it's just heartbreaking that you come to an event. I think the pastors, the fathers need to step up. They are doing well, but they need to step up and start seeing these ministers as important, as equal as their pastoral ministries. So if they are traveling, let them take them with them. If they are going to other countries, fly with Deborah. It won't take you anything. Fly with Timwani, fly with Erin Leo. Even if they're not in your church, fly with them. Fly with some of your media practitioners. Carry them out. Let them meet new people. The thing is, as you carry them out, they are going to meet their own people and establish their own brand and relationship. So from you, they are not forced to be in your church. You can still sponsor somebody who's doing well. You can carry somebody who's making impact. But it's crazy that you can go to an event like Deborah's event with the kind of expensive and the things that Deborah went through, and you look at that church, and you can have probably half of the people coming there. But even though I know that there was a lot, because I know the church is pretty big, and it's more than 5,000 as we know. But they need to step up in Zambia with the support, and thanks to the partners and the other people that came on as sponsors that we saw them on the flyers that tried their best to be a sponsor to that. And I know that those that came, it looked simple, but you were sowing on a fertile soil because God is going to really reward you, because it's going to give you growth as you have helped Deborah to uplift her ministry. You can be down when she's uplifted. But I think Zambians need to do well. And there are people, look on the scale. I was looking at millionaires in Liberia, in Africa. And Zambia has one of the highest amongst our African nations. They have. So when you look at the scales, I think the highest should be from South Africa, and the next should be from Nigeria. I think Zambia should be third. When you read the millionaires in Africa, and you have a lot of, how do I call it, supermarkets, shopping malls, how you call it here. We don't have a lot in Liberia. It's now we're building one that is called more of Liberia that is pretty big, very big. But if all those people can try to help these people, even call them to your company and give them a car. How much is car for you? It's just a way of just believing what they do. And I think you will have Zambian music crossing borders and making impact because their songs are really, really powerful. My Liberians have been posting, and they will be telling me, Timwani is anointed. Timwani is anointed. That lady is anointed. Liberians know how to heal when they see you're doing good. Yeah.
Awesome. This has been a great conversation, and just great to just dive and just know who you are. And thank you for according us the opportunity to just have a conversation with you. Guys, do you have any questions? Okay, awesome. So, Pastor Joseph, any last words now to somebody watching? Yeah.
Yeah, so my last word I want to say is that whatever you're doing, in every place you find yourself in any field or career, be consistent, be intentional, be you. Because you can never become anybody and no one can become you. You are just a direct replica of yourself. So never stop believing in yourself. You will have some downs, you will have some ups, but believe in the dreams that you are working towards. Because I have never seen great people that ever arrive easily. There should be a scarf that you have to show to people that this is scarf that I suffered when I was coming up. So whatever you're doing, just believe in your dreams, believe in what you're doing, keep living it. Keep seeing yourself in nations across the world. Stop being a local champion like we call it in Liberia.
Yep.
Stop thinking that I will be in Zambia here and make my name. I will be in Liberia. I will be in Africa. I will be in Tanzania. Look beyond the words. See yourself in different nations on the stage. I will be in my church and I will be telling my team as I'm singing, I say, I'm seeing myself in different nations and I'm singing. So we declare, Bible says we should speak those things into being as if they were. So what you want to become is in the power of your words. Never stop speaking positive. Even if your own brother or sister never believe in you, keep speaking positive because it's only your words that will make you or break you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What word have you learned in Zambia so far?
Monobwanji.
Mulibwanji.
Monobwanji.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Pastor Joseph. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've been informed, transformed, as well as inspired. So, by the way, how can people access your music and where can they find you?
Yeah, so on YouTube, Joseph Nimely, Joseph T. Nimely, on iTunes Music, Joseph T. Nimely, on Apple Music, Joseph T. Nimely, and on, I don't know if you do Audio Mag here.
Yeah, I think.
Audio Mag is the same Joseph T. Nimely, and Facebook, Joseph T. Nimely. So it's just Joseph T. Nimely all over.
Awesome.
Together, yeah.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, from me, Dennis Umubanga Kaumbe, and the crew, and Pastor Joseph T. Nimely from Liberia, we say bye-bye.
Thank you.
Awesome.